All right, guys. So, in the wake of everything going on with SNEAKO, of course, there's a lot. There's probably going to be some rolling news on SNEAKO for the next few days. Again, he's trending again, I guess, which is kind of what he wanted, right? He was doing like the Andrew Tate hate farm strategy, I guess. The problem is that this kind of stuff just burns. A lot of times people just burn out on this. Not really a good thing. So we have this video here. I haven't watched it yet. People say it's pretty bad. Not his video, but like what SNEAKO does. But I don't know what it is yet. So we're going to just operate as if we haven't watched it yet. We're going to watch it though. But here's the thing. Because it says YouTube should ban SNEAKO. I don't think that SNEAKO should be banned. I don't. I know a lot of people are going to be upset. I don't think that Andrew Tate should be banned either. I think that they have horrible ideologies. But I don't think that it should be ban worthy. I don't think that it crosses that line. However, SNEAKO has been doing some pretty bad stuff. And so if he does get banned, I'm not going to be surprised. That's all I have to say. You know, when Andrew Tate got banned, I don't think he should have got banned, but I'm not, like, upset about it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, same thing with SNEAKO, man. If you get banned, I mean, like, you know, I don't think you should, but, you know. So there's a couple things first. He's currently, I think he has a week ban on YouTube. And I can't show, like, the picture because he had it on his Twitter, which is also banned now. But anyway, it got banned because he had a video with Nick Fuentes where he's like, oh, me and Nick Fuentes own liberals for like 27 minutes and whatever, 40 seconds. I don't know. And he's saying like, oh, it's censorship. Apparently, they pulled him down for election misinformation on Joe Biden. That's what he showed. That's what he said. I don't know if it's true. Could be wrong about that. If that's true, you know, I mean, I don't know. I think that's I don't know why that would be something that you would pull down. You know, yeah, obviously you have to be very unintelligent to think that Joe Biden managed to pull off an election scandal or a scam or whatever, because it's just not true. I mean, the infrastructure we have, I mean, listen, there are always going to be some areas where like some individuals might be able to, you know, play the system, but it's going to be on both sides, and it's not going to be widespread enough to have any impact on the election. That's just reality. What's funny though is I remember him talking to Destiny saying like, "Oh, we should be able to vote from our phone. If you could vote from your phone, then there will be election fraud, okay? Because somebody can intercept that and they can manipulate the data in any capacity. When you do hard ballots, very hard to do that. When you do like tangible real life ballots. Anyway, but I don't think it was just that. I think it's one of those things where I didn't watch that video, so I could be wrong about this, but I did watch Nick Fuentes and SNEAKO talk the first time they talked, and it was pretty bad. In that video, they were talking about, like, you know, Jewish conspiracies about how they run the world and the stuff that led to the Holocaust, honestly, as well as talking about how, like, you know, Black and Hispanic people were just like, this is what Nick Fuentes said, were just like inferior. They were just had lower IQs, and it's all genetic, and, you know, didn't care, nothing to do with systemic racism. And SNEAKO didn't really push back at all. He was like, is that really true? Can you show me some data? Meanwhile, you could show him objective data statistics about the coronavirus, and he'll say those aren't real. And that's like the weirdest thing. You'll take his word for something that, you know, is incredibly racist, but like you won't look at the actual data for coronavirus. Anyway, whatever. As far as his Twitter ban was, Twitter. That was weird. He got pulled down for, this is what they're saying. He got his account suspended for, apparently, he called out Hassan for a fight, which is like, whatever. Hassan obviously isn't going to take the fight. I mean, why would he? But I challenged Hassan the Hun to a boxing match, any weight class, anytime. I'll fight 70 pounds lighter. I don't care. I'm 6'2", 160. Never had an amateur fight. I will break the internet, and I will break his face. That's cool. For some reason, it looks like, if you can't really read all of this here, but apparently this is what Twitter had said. It looks like a self, you know, watch thing. Look at this. It says, we'll start from where I can. Illness, relationship problems, and economic problems. You can find these resources here. Whatever. They linked them a mental health thing for a resource. Please know that there are people out there who care about you and that you are not alone. So it looks like they pulled them down for them thinking that this was some kind of like a you know, self-owned threat. You know what I'm saying, which is weird. It seems like people are mass reporting him. So that's where we're up to there. And then comes this video, right? So let's get it rolling.
Hey, this is not going to be a normal video. Today, I want to briefly talk about the
I will say too, I think he put this on Twitter as well, but let's see.
content creator SNEAKO and ask YouTube to ban him from the platform. I'm going to keep this video really short because I just want to say my piece and give SNEAKO and his fans as little ammunition to fire back as possible, because we know that every time someone utters his name on YouTube, he feels the need to make 5 videos crying about women and society or whatever. And before we begin, I do want to say that most of the time I don't believe...
You know, it's funny. I made a joke when I talked to SNEAKO, and I just logged back onto my TikTok, like the actual main one, because I don't use it. Well, I mean, new main, I guess. Anyway, people are like, oh, like, we're making fun of me because I was like, maybe the reason that women respect me more is because you're not a high value male and I am. And he melted down. He took that really personally. He took that as an assassination attempt on his masculinity. And when people get that upset about that, I mean, like, if you get that upset by not even like just a joke of me questioning your masculinity, you probably have a very fragile masculinity. I just thought that was funny. It's like, dude, you're very sensitive. You're very sensitive for somebody who cries about how everybody else is sensitive. It's kind of embarrassing for you, but okay.
That deplatforming someone is the proper way to deal with a controversy. A lot of times creators that I disagree with on a personal level are mostly harmless, and I don't believe that disagreeing with someone's personal values are ground for removal from YouTube or Twitch or any other social media platform. In general, policing content can be dangerous, but as you're about to see, SNEAKO has grossly violated YouTube's terms of service and qualifies for removal from the website. Now, I'm not going to go into too much depth.
All I'll say is that, like, the YouTube terms of service is very, it seems to be very loosely interpreted or interpreted differently based on some people, different people. But okay, I wonder what he did
here. But if you don't already know who SNEAKO is, he is a gaming and commentary content creator who continues to spread
is he a gaming creator? I guess he used to make games.
Extremely harmful messages to a rapidly growing audience, usually violently ranting about women, politics, or men wearing makeup. He's sort of like...
I will say one thing. I mean, there are probably a lot of people who do like galvanize, I guess, or kind of gravitate to, that's the word I was looking for, SNEAKO. But I feel like for the most part, like the same thing that happened to Andrew Tate happened to SNEAKO. Like, he's become a lol cow. He's a meme. Like, people just kind of make fun of him, and like, I don't know. I personally don't see him as like a big threat. There's some underlying issues as to why people gravitate towards the red pill shit. I think a lot of this is a lot of young men feeling like, you know, disenfranchised by society. I also think that some of them are just like, obviously just gonna like, are pieces of shit. Like, some of these young kids are just dickheads. Like, I was a fucking asshole. Probably some dickheaded kids that probably don't have very strong father figures, and I guess they look up to SNEAKO, the 23-year-old fucking 15-year-old. I guess that's the person they look up to. I don't know.
Like the new Andrew Tate, now that he's not on the platform anymore. He was recently banned off Twitter and now has 2 channel strikes on YouTube, but I'm not exactly sure what the reason for that is. Now, a little over a month.
I gave good thing. I think the first one was election misinformation. I think that was the first one. I could be wrong about that. Or coronavirus misinformation, and I think, and then the second one I've already explained. So
ago, SNEAKO went on his live stream to talk about one of my friends, Chad, who gave me permission to make this video, but had no...
a girl with a boy's name. All right, guys. I'm just kidding. You know.
No part in the creation of it, and it wasn't...
What are you, trans? I'm just joshing. I'm just melanying. Get it? I don't know why that's the name that came to my head.
Her idea or suggestion for me to make this. He reacted to a video she made about a TikTok dating coach.
Warning, graphic depictions of sexual assault. Oh, okay. What we got here? It's so fun. Okay, I was gonna say it's funny because like SNEAKO just leveraged like a false accusation against Brandon Buckingham. I made a video about that. You can go take a look at it. I'll just reference the video. But basically, like, yeah, it's this one right here. SNEAKO's spiraling out of control. Where, like, you know, they were having a private interaction where Brandon was like, yo, man, you're really cool, blah, blah, blah. And then I guess that made SNEAKO uncomfortable. And he's like, yo, bro, you're dick riding me, which I think is fair. It's a response, to be honest with you. And Brandon took it really personally and posted an Instagram story challenging SNEAKO to, like, a boxing match and all this. It's like really disproportionate response. And then one thing he said was like, oh, me and my boys are going to come to town and then we're going to run a train on your girlfriend. Just like she wants us to. Now, that is inappropriate. It's so funny because people in my comments are like, Papa, I can't believe you're defending that. Well, okay, I was about to get upset. You're dumb and annoying. because I will give out like a really like I'll give like a nice thoughtful response, and I'll say like I think what Brandon did was wrong, but it's not an actual sexual assault claim. And you guys will be like, if this happened to your wife, you'd say the same thing. No, I wouldn't. If you said that about my wife, I wouldn't say that it was a claim. I would say that you're annoying, and I wouldn't interact with you anymore. Like that's what I would do. I'd be like, oh, that's my wife. I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. Like once you do that, I just don't interact with creators who talk about my wife. So I don't like like that's it. But I wouldn't take that as a credible assault threat, right? Like you guys have just like just fucking baby brain sometimes. Like you don't listen. You guys are just ready to respond. Anyway, all right, just wanted to bring that up. Anyway, that was a disproportionate response. SNEAKO's initial response to that, and it's all in the video, you can go watch it, was, oh, Brandon is trying to disrespect me, or is disrespecting me because he thought I disrespected him. Level-headed response, reasonable response. That turned into him going on a live stream and saying that that Brandon literally Brandon raped my girlfriend, which is just not true. Right, 7 times to another creator that was a friend of Brandon's, in what it seems like an attempt to assassinate his credibility, especially as Brandon is a growing content creator. You know, and he's not like a small content creator by any means, but like, you know, when you have a larger content creator saying, I would say defamatory things about somebody, a lot of like that could very easily blow back onto that smaller creator, because people will just take somebody with larger content base as like more credible, because you know that's how the world works. People with more followers are always more credible. Duh. So yeah, so what I was getting at, it's interesting that he would claim that and then, you know, apparently make accusations of his own, but or do the same thing Brandon did to him. But like anyway, let's see what they actually are, because I don't know what they actually are. But I do. Why isn't it going? Oh, okay.
I'm just going to play the video here so nothing can be left out of context, but I am going to issue a huge content warning for sexual assault. So if that's something that you're uncomfortable with in any way, I would leave the video now.
You know what's so funny about the internet? It hides the fact, and like this feminist garbage hides the fact that she's attracted to that guy making the videos. It is what it is.
Where does he get this from? Like, it's just like, where is that idea from? Like, yeah, like she must be attracted to this date. I'm assuming the dating coach is some red pill idiot. So it's like she must be attracted to this guy. That's a cope, bro. That's a cope. That's a cope, man. Yeah, that's a cope, brother. You think that maybe she just thinks he's yucky? I don't know. Like do you don't think that like that? It's just a weird perspective to have, where you think you know, you like legitimately and unironically think you know everything. That's just weird.
Girls, you could vouch for it. You know it's true. She would.
What girls are in your channel?
She would. And you know, sister, what's so predictable? You could tell by the way she's talking that she hasn't been properly in a long time.
Okay.
It's been a while. So she's on the internet making this garbage video, promoting all this feminist garbage to your fucking lonely girls in the comment section. What you really need, Chad, is some yeah, shut up with your feminism. Yeah, come here. That's what you need. And she's gonna go, that's what you need. You need some sense fuck back into you. And you know what they're gonna do right after I did that? They're gonna clip that part and say I'm an incel problematic, but you know it's true.
I mean, that was just like a cringy joke. It wasn't even like funny to me. But okay, is there more?
You can hear it in her voice. She hasn't been properly in too long, and now you make no sense. That's what happens, man. That's what happens, yo. Someone vouch for me. You know it's true.
No, I don't think.
Where's the rape part? Where's the sexual? There's no sexual assault there. The joke was cringy and incredibly inappropriate. You shouldn't be talking about anybody like that. But what do you mean? I mean, it's kind of funny because SNEAKO is doing the same thing to Brandon Buckingham that this guy's doing to SNEAKO. The only thing I will say is that this guy probably actually feels that way, even though you're wrong. It's inappropriate and just disgusting, but that's not sexual assault. He's saying she needs sense fuck back into her, not that he's gonna go and violently rape her. Like, I come on, we have to like. I get you're uncomfortable. That's totally fine. I think it's perfectly reasonable to call out this behavior as well. Is there more? Am I just not missing something? Am I just no? There's no more. It looks like, bro. Come on. I just it's so annoying because like we really have to stop. We're shifting what sexual assault is now, and it means nothing anymore. If you think that this is SA. The term means nothing, and to people who have actually been like assaulted, like they're like, do you think that like you're comparing this to that experience? This isn't an actual credible threat. This is gross, but it's not an actual credible threat. This is like kind of stupid. Very disappointing, to be honest with you. Like, I get you guys don't like SNEAKO. I don't know if this is like, like I said before, I don't know if this is like your genuine. If you genuinely think that this was like an actual credible threat, that's sad. I think that you maybe need to go touch grass. It's gross and inappropriate, but holy fuck, man, come on. Like, we can't be shifting what like actual assault is now, right? Like, we can't just play this weird baby game, right? That was just gross, but it wasn't like assault. I can't believe okay, this is the video? Wow. I didn't, people were asking me to watch this. I didn't know. Okay, great. Thank you for making me defend SNEAKO. Thank you for making me defend SNEAKO. That makes me feel really good about myself. Thank God. Thank God. Thank goodness. It is kind of like cosmically funny. It's a little ironic though, because SNEAKO did just try to do this to Brandon Buckingham, but still, I mean, if SNEAKO's wrong then, I have to obviously call you wrong here. Difference is that his initial reaction was to understand that it wasn't a credible threat when he did it to Brandon Buckingham, and then he flipped the script. I'll make a reasonable assumption that you actually mean what you say, but you're still wrong, man. Like, this is not a credible threat at all. If she felt uncomfortable, 100% justifiable. But
I have to explain why this is disgusting. SNEAKO is harassing a female content creator, telling her that the reason why she's so upset is because she hasn't had sex in a while, and then he proceeds to aggressively simulate a sexual assault on Chad.
Come on, that's not what he did, bro. Okay. All right. This is so stupid. This is so dumb. What do you mean aggressively? He aggressively simulates sex. If he was like, if he was like pretending to be her and was like, oh, stop, please, and he's like, no, you're gonna take it, then I would be there with you. But like when he went like, for her reaction, that was like her like coming. That was what that's supposed to simulate, right? Then like she's like, oh my God, finally I've had good, you know. I disagree with what he did, but like this wasn't what you're saying it is at all.
In his live stream in front of thousands of people. And like I said, there are creators who I disagree with, and then there are people like SNEAKO who actively threaten other creators on YouTube, spread hate speech, and overall make YouTube a less enjoyable and more dangerous place for everybody who's on it. Not to mention that this clip alone obviously violates YouTube's community guidelines around harassment.
It might, if that's true, fine, whatever. Like if it does, I could see why it might violate the YouTube community guidelines for harassment. If it does, good, whatever, I don't care. But, like, can we not call it sexual assault? Because it's not that. It's not a threat of that. It's not any of that. We have to stop.
YouTube has banned creators even recently for much less, and I think that this is an obvious instance of a creator who...
Who's that? I'm just curious who you're referring to.
...is now causing more harm by existing on this site. And this isn't even about free speech. This is about taking action when a content creator spreads messaging like this, and I think YouTube would agree that someone like this definitely does not belong on their platform. If you watch this video and you also believe that SNEAKO should be banned from YouTube, you can go to his channel pages, click About, and then click the flag icon on the right side of the page and report the user. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Hey, this is...
I don't know, man. This seems like a... Listen, I don't like this video, to be honest with you. Here's what I don't like about it. The first thing I don't like about it is that it falsely claims that he makes a sexual assault threat, because he doesn't. You're just wrong about that. I'll talk to you about why you're wrong, but you know, we can't be watering down what that actually is. I mean, it's a bad thing. I need you to understand something. Words are supposed to have meaning, okay? And when we use words, because here's what actually happened. This is something that's been happening a lot. You felt like that was gross because it was. I agree with you. And so you looked for a word that had the same emotional impact as to how you felt about this situation, rather than finding the correct words that would apply to this situation, because you feel that it should have more emotional weight. And I understand that, right? But but if you do that and we start calling everything like SA, all we're really doing is that word is becoming meaningless, right? Like if the word is losing its meaning, and we already have a lot of a problem where people do, like women specifically, but it happens to men as well, where men or women will be like, I was sexually assaulted, and because that word is meaning less because of people who are using it incorrectly, all of a sudden it's like, well, what does that mean now? Now you can't, like, because the word means less. You're making the word mean less. Because that's not what happened. There was no threat there. He wasn't simulating sexual assault. We have to stop, man. I disagree. I don't think that you needed to do a sexual... You could have done, like, a sexually graphic content warning. That would have been fine. But I think that you're... I don't know the guy. He seems like a nice, non-threatening guy with glasses. But So I won't say that you're like fucking virtue signaling. And I won't say that you're intentionally pearl clutching, but I need you to understand that like this is such disproportionate response. So yeah, still gross what he did, but let's use words correctly, please. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down in the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.